Hi, I saw this Mickey Mouse layout on the internet and just thought this would be so easy to recreate with the ScanNCut. I love anything to do with Disney and Mickey Mouse, and I remember when I made a mini album for my daughter when we had a visit to Disneyland in Paris. So in today's project I'm going to show you how I recreated it using the ScanNCut so that you can cut it and make a scrapbook page from it. So I'm just going to get rid of this. This is the layout that I recreated in Canvas. So I'm going to go to a new blank page. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to come over to the basic shapes and I'm going to get a circle. With the circle selected, I'm going to come to the properties box, and with the maintain aspect ratio selected, I'm going to take this down to 1 inch and hit enter. Now I'm going to make a duplicate of that circle, and this time I'm going to make this 1/2 inch. So 0.5 and enter. And then I'm going to make a duplicate of that. So now I'm going to position these over here. I'm just going to zoom in so you can see. So I'm going to position this over here like so that I've got an equal amount of overlap. Then I'm going to select one of the smaller circles, hold the shift key down and select the other, and then I'm going to get to edit and align them along the top edge so I know that they line up together. And now I'm just going to bring them in and manipulate them so that they're aligned along the top edge, but I have a similar distance of overlap. When I'm happy with how they look, I'm going to select everything and go to Edit, Weld. And that's given me my basic shape. So I'm just going to come back to the full map view. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to line up the top of the ears with the 1 inch line running along here, and so that this middle blue dot is on the 6. So I'm just going to zoom in on this area. I'm going to bring this up so that the blue dot in the middle here is lined up with the 6 and that the ears are on this 1 inch line. Then I'm going to make a duplicate of it while it's selected, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to do the same things. I'm going to hold the shift key down and rotate it. I want this blue circle that's in the middle here on this 6 inch line, and the bottom of the ears lined up with what will be the 11 inch line on the mat. Now I'm going to come back to fit to mat. While one's selected, I'm going to hold the shift key down and select the other, and then just go edit and center just to make sure they are exactly centered. And while they're selected and centered, I'm going to right click and make them a group. Now I'm just going to come back and turn the map properties off. So I'm not moving these at all apart from rotating them now. So I'm going to hold the Alt key down on the keyboard, which is generally somewhere near your space bar. And while holding the Alt key down, I'm going to grab this rotate handle and rotate a set horizontally, and then let go altogether of the Alt key and the mouse. Then I'm going to press the Alt key down again and rotate another set out until they look about in the middle of these two, and then let go. Then press the Alt key down again and drag another set out and let go, and press the Alt key down again and drag another set out and let go. And I'm going to keep doing that until I fill up this space. So once you're happy with all your little shapes here, and obviously you can manipulate them, and you know, if you think one's not looking quite right, just jiggle them about. Because they're a group, once you select one, obviously you can put them all into place. So I'm happy with how all that looks, so I'm going to drag an imaginary box around everything and go right click and group and just make them a group for now. Now the next thing I'm going to do is choose a circle, and I want to drag a circle out so that it's big enough to just overlap the bottom edges of all these Mickey Mouses. So with this selected, I'm just going to fill it in black just to hopefully make it easier on the screen for you to see. Drag an imaginary box around both and go Edit Center and Edit Middle. And now I can see that this circle just overlaps the bottom edges. I'm going to select the circle, nothing else. I think I may have moved it. So I'm just going to select it again, come to the Edit, come to Create Offset. I'm going to take this up to about 1/2 inch, say Inward and say OK. And then you can't really see anything. I'm just going to select in the middle somewhere, and that should have selected my inner circle. I'm just going to change the colour to red for now so you can see it. So the smaller circle has to be on top of the bigger circle. So if yours isn't, right click and bring it to the front. So with the red circle selected, I'm going to hold the Shift key down and select the black circle, not the Mickey Mouse heads, just the 2 circles. Then I'm going to come to Edit, Subtract, and that's now made me this frame. Now I want to select everything and then go Edit and Weld. And that's now welded that frame to all those heads. So that's your basic shape really. That's how the scrapbook page looked as though it was made up. I mean, it may have been done on a cutter, it may have been done with punches and, you know, circle cutters, I'm not sure. But this is all one shape now, and you can obviously resize this accordingly. So as I say, if we imagine that this piece of white card was this white card here, then these Mickey heads, you know, nearly fill this. So I can now, with it all selected, grab a corner and drag it out until I'm happy with how I think it looks in proportion to the, you know, piece of white scrapbook card. Then all you need to do is, if you want to make some matting layers for the photographs, choose yourself a rectangle, hold the Shift key down and rotate it. The pictures across the middle I would think were probably 3x2 pictures. So if you make this rectangle untick maintain aspect ratio 3.25 by 2.25, 2.25 and enter, and then duplicate that and then make this 3x2. And I'll just fill that with a grey colour. And we'll make the layers on the back red, just so you can see it on the video better. So the red would be your card matting layers, and the grey would represent a 3x2 photo. I'm just going to group those both together, and then they would sit here, create duplicates, so they would be your photos. Then on this one they had this kind of border design. There is a border design in the basic shapes, but it's quite a big border, which you could use, but I chose to use this one, and again I'll just fill it with colour so you can see. And then the last thing is the title. So I went to the Brother ScanNCut Converter, and in here I typed I and Mickey, and then I have a font on my computer called Mini, which you can get from dafont.com. and then I saved that onto my desktop and closed that down. Then I came to the SVG icon in Canvas, went and found that file I'd saved on my desktop and said OK. Now it comes in as individual letters, so just drag an imaginary box across the top of the letters and then you've got your letters there. Then I came back to the basic shapes, chose a heart, shrunk the heart down to fit in within my letters, might make it a little bit smaller this time. And then these letters come in at all funny angles anyway, so I literally just drag them across so that they slightly overlap. You can tilt them a bit more if you want to. I'm going to move the K just slightly. And if you want them all at different levels you can do, but I'm going to select them all, edit, line them all up on the bottom edges, and with them all selected I'm going to go edit and weld. And now they're all a group and I can drag them out and I can put them in here and then I can fill them in with colour so you can see how it's going to look. So I think that is a great layout potential for a scrapbook page, just made from a few basic shapes that are already within ScanNCut Canvas, a border and a font that you can find on the internet. So all as I would do now is save it up here, save it into my Canvas projects, and then download it. And then obviously what I would do though, before you do anything, I would ungroup these. You don't need to cut the grey, but you could put those over your photograph for placement. The grey is just to represent a photograph here, or put your journaling, that kind of thing. I'll just save it again because these are now separate. But I just think that's a really fun, quick layout. So I hope you found that helpful. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't already do so, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.